This episode is brought to you by Another Heist. Hey music makers, our passion drives our mission with our free open studio experience, helping you overcome financial hurdles so you can keep the hits coming. And our marketing package, it's not just an add-on, it's crucial for your success and ours. We're fueling the growth of the New England music scene, making it part of our core strategy, because when our community thrives, we all flourish. Join us and be a part of the movement. You see these kicks? These kicks were dirty. They were beat up, I couldn't wear them. But I got in contact with Lara Murchie at 537 Shawmut Ave, the Fashion Center, and he brought these beauties back to life. Get in touch with him if you need your kicks clean, your furniture done, your purses done. It ain't called the Fashion Center for no reason. At 537 Shawmut Ave in historic South Boston. Just tell him your boy said ya. Peace. What is going on, good people? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Say That Podcast. And y'all know my motto, don't say this, say that. I want to thank everybody for tuning into my last episode with Sha. It was a great episode. I really appreciate him coming up here. It was his first time on an interview too, and he really spit some good shit. So if you want to go check that out right now, please do. And as always, since you're watching on YouTube, leave a like and comment on every single one of my videos, including this one, and make sure to hit that subscribe button. And as always, follow us on Instagram, say_that_pod, and myself, REPETE617. But today's episode is a very, very special one because it's a first for me, at least at AOA Studios. We got a whole squad up in here, straight from the 978. Please welcome PH Imbalance. What is going on, gentlemen?
Say that.
Yes, sir. Why don't you introduce yourselves to the good people and say that?
Yo, I'm Mikey DZZZ.
I'm Johnny Rick.
Stevie Cash.
MC Kym.
Yes, sir. And they come, like I said, y'all coming straight from the 978.
978.
I've said past, especially on the last episode with Shaw, you know, there's a lot of mecca cities in the Massachusetts for hip hop and rap. Brockton's one of them. Dorchester, Roxbury, Mattapan, obviously, and others. But one that kind of like, I don't want to say doesn't get overlooked, but I feel like should get talked about a little bit more is the 978.
Yep.
Lawrence, Lowell, you know what I'm saying? So y'all coming from there, how does it feel to represent that area creatively and to be up there, putting your names out there with some of the names from up there, like Terminology and others?
I think we just kind of coexist in that same realm. Like, we're from there. We just know where it's at as far as, like, you know, we try to put on for, like, our area.
Yeah.
And, of course, we want to put on for Massachusetts as well. Like, really, like, first and foremost, it's MA all day. Like, and that's a fact. But 978, I don't know. I just feel like shit's really bubbling right now. Like, a lot of stuff's going down, and we're just like, yeah, we're gonna keep supporting that. Yeah. We're just gonna keep like bringing it up, growing, you know, more seeds in the garden. So absolutely.
Because like I said, you know, there's a lot of heavy hitters from up there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Diva's from up there. Yeah. Ernie's the Weapons from up there. Isha. So seeing y'all in that realm with each other and blooming as itself is really nice to see. Because I feel like, in a way, y'all kind of get overlooked a little bit, you know, or maybe y'all are like the underdog in a sense. But over these last couple of years, y'all have really been coming up like that.
Appreciate
so
that.
I'm also curious, and of course, this is an open question, so anyone can answer, give your takes, all you want. How did y'all link up? Like, what's the story of how PH Imbalance really came together?
I mean, we've all been pretty good friends since we were about 11 years old at least.
Wow.
I mean, some of these guys have known each other since they were 4 or 5. But
that's what's up.
We've all been friends and all been making music for a long time, all been part of music, different ways, you know, from punk rock to rap music. Okay. So we kind of all just clicked together real easily, you know.
Yeah. And there was kind of like a point where you're like, all right, let's just all rap together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I mean, them two were rapping first, and I was doing more like punk stuff back in the day. Kym was doing a lot of like more like classic, like more like R&B kind of stuff. Some of the more like the radio stuff, like always singing those tunes and stuff. But these guys actually, they've gone on tour and stuff like that, like separately by themselves. So they really started it, and then we kind of just built around it. Like, I started producing beats for them and stuff. And
so you produce it too?
Everything.
You everything. See, I didn't know that about you.
Yeah. Except for we dropped a track called "Bury Me Under." Shouts to 10 Strip. He's out of New Hampshire. A really good friend of ours, amazing producer, amazing mix master engineer. He engineered my last project. So he's nasty. But I produce almost everything else.
That's what's up, because I love that. Y'all are just blending every style together. I didn't know you did punk. That's kind of cool. That's kind of stuff. That's because I just went to Green Day recently at Fenway. So that, you know, they're basically the innovators of punk rock. You know, at least one of them.
Yeah.
So
I used to love old Green Day, man.
Oh, you kidding me? It was fantastic. It was fantastic. I'm getting a tattoo of the American Idiot hand holding the grenade too. And so you know what I'm saying? Because that's my band.
Yeah, hell yeah.
But regardless, one thing that I've noticed about y'all, and which I actually really love, is y'all have that symbol. You know what I'm saying? It's in your profile picture on Instagram.
Symbol, yeah.
So that's the PHI symbol.
That is the PHI symbol.
So kind of explain the background of that to the good people.
So like that's not like an invention of ours or anything. That is an actual symbol that represents the 23rd letter of the Greek alphabet. It also is a mathematical symbol. So it represents different things. It also represents the golden ratio, which is, aesthetically and mathematically way back in the day, I think, Pythagorean type times, old Greek guys, you know what I mean? They came up with this, this mathematical equation to basically, try to map out what aesthetically would be the most pleasing based off of mathematical, algorithms, but also you can see it in nature. It's all based off of a sequence called the Fibonacci sequence, which is when it's a mathematical term for growth. Basically.
Interesting.
Yeah. I'm sorry if that's long-winded.
No. That's interesting because I'm a big history guy. You know what I'm saying? I love history. I love learning about, where the fuck we all came from.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, you know what I'm saying? You're talking about ancient Greeks. That's a bedrock of democracy and civilization itself. So, y'all are actually using some historical terms right there and actually making it work together. So, that's really cool. That's what's up. So, and one thing that, Mikey, we have had conversations about, all y'all work regular jobs. You know what I'm saying? Y'all have to provide for yourselves one way or another. Obviously, you'd like to do it through music. That'll eventually come. But how do you guys find, in kind of a pun here, the balance? Because, you're PH Imbalance, but there does have to be some balance of, working your regular life as opposed to then, you lock into the studio, you go to these shows. So what's like kind of important for you in that aspect? And this just goes for all y'all, so whatever.
Yeah. Well, as far as like...
Take your pick. Hey,
don't all jump at once.
I'm going next.
Go for it.
Sure. I guess the work-life balance, the importance there, is that kind of the question you're asking?
Like, what the exactly. What's the
Sure. I would say the importance is kind of your happiness and sanity, because we're all working inside of these boxes, so to speak, right? These constructs in which we have to perform a certain way, we have to look a certain way, present ourselves in a certain way. So being able to have an outlet or just a place where you can be yourself, and now having a platform to show others, hey, be yourself, I think it's important to take time for you. No matter what you're doing, you can work hard but play harder. Have those memories down the road. Don't have the regrets of the, I should have done this differently. Take the chance. Make the balance happen, because it's all about compromise. Yeah. And if you're only compromising for your boss, then are you really living? Right. Have time for you.
Exactly.
As far as like the name as well, PH Imbalance, like it's also a play on where we're from. We're from Pinehurst in Billerica. It's like south side of Billerica. Okay. But like we do, I think, a lot, not only in our working life, but just in our like waking life in general. Like we try to find a balance in things, and it's a hard thing to kind of find from time to time, but that's kind of what we're going for. We're going for that's really like what we preach, for less of for loss of a better term or whatever. But we just want to keep growing, and we want like people to like want to grow as well, and like that's kind of the the best way to keep our balance.
Absolutely. Because this is kind of like an off-kilter thing, but it reminds me of one of our last episodes, because we used to record in Staples in downtown Boston before we moved here.
Yeah.
And honestly, and I've said this a million times, this place is way better than
Staples.
Oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there you go. Shout out to Mike.
Appreciate you.
But the last episode there, I wasn't on because I remember I was slammed at work that day. Two of my co-hosts, and it's not the guest you guys would expect. They interviewed a woman who does OnlyFans.
Okay, nice.
And when I say OnlyFans, like the story she says, she's deep in like the shit of it.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
She likes money.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she likes a lot of money. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Good for her.
She's told the story of how she fucking sells jars of her spit and shit like that. I'm like, you know what I'm saying?
I just want to say that's not on her, by the way.
No, absolutely not.
People are asking for that.
No,
like, people.
100%.
There's some strange individuals.
No, there's like,
so that's this equal pay thing.
Yeah.
Just
talk about it.
Yeah, I'm looking. I'm like, damn, you made it off your fluid, like.
Yeah.
So it's like, could I just like could I spit in the jar? Like,
right,
you know,
right.
because who knows the difference? Like, you know what I'm saying? But the whole point she was getting at was, you know, she puts on that persona when she's on the camera. And in terms of, like, I feel like with a lot of rappers, they not really a persona because you are what you live. You know, you live your experience. Whatever your rap nicknames are, that is you, just in a different light. But, you know, she was talking about kind of the balance of that, how, you know, she goes on the camera, you know, then she goes off, and it's just a whole different kind of life like that. You know what I'm saying? So do y'all feel like you are in that kind of sense of, like, you know, we go up on stage, we're in the studio, you know, we're us there, and then we go back to, you know, working the 9 to 5, because I work the 9 to 5 too. So do y'all ever kind of relate to that in a little bit? In a sense? Yeah.
100%. Because you're a completely different person at work. Depending on your position too. Like, I'm in management, so I can't say shit.
Oh, yeah.
Really, because everyone is like, you know.
Yeah.
HR.
Don't say anything, nothing incriminating right now.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't want any of y'all to lose jobs.
Where like
HR might be listening.
where like if you're going from music where you could just say anything as long, you know, obviously you want to even there say the right things, but you know, you can't say certain things when you're at work.
Yeah.
And you know, sometimes I think about that on a daily basis. I'm like, man, if like I just rapped and that was like my career, like 100%, I'd be 10 times happier.
Yeah.
I just say what the fuck I want.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I get the... Okay, go ahead.
I was just going to say, but luckily also, like, I don't... Like, if you have to live off your music and your content and stuff like that, a lot of the time, people will just do what sells. And so I think, like, us working day jobs is something that also kind of, in a way, keeps us grounded. And, like, we were just talking, I don't even know if this got on the cam or whatever, but we were talking about how Kevin Hart, you know...
Yeah.
He's so rich, he's, like, disconnected, you know what I mean? It's like... So it's like... We work regular jobs. We're regular people. We feel pretty connected. You know what I mean? We're not dealing with rich people problems. You know what I mean? We're just regular people. So.
Yeah, and that's what I kind of feel, because I was having this conversation with my guys last night. Because eventually the goal is to make money off of this. You know, the goal is to get to a certain point. Maybe not of fame, but it's kind of, you have to kind of get to that fame point because, you know, let's face it.
Hand in hand with the money.
Exactly. Exactly. It goes right hand in hand with the money. So I think what's most important is you stick to the authenticity. Because I could imagine, you know, y'all blow up. Y'all will still be the same people. You know what I'm saying? Yes, you don't think so?
No.
You don't think so?
No, once I get the rapper money?
I think when you get rapper money, it accentuates your ego way too much.
Yeah.
That's
And
true.
you have to, like, it's an up and down thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to be super egotistical.
He's gonna be throwing money at people and shit.
Hey, I appreciate the honesty.
I'm going to be like Liberace. I'm going to be out here in, like,
Damn.
crazy clothes.
Glitter everything.
Glitter
Yeah.
everything. No,
Yup.
I'm kidding.
I'd say the hope is to be humble.
I'll be driving
you know,
a camera.
Keep
Yeah, we'll
that
be
stillness
very
about you. You
Yes, absolutely.
know? So
Cause,
hopefully.
Yeah, because the money does change. You know, as much as we don't want it to, if it comes, it's going to change. You know, you have to...
Well, it's because you get, like, starter money. And then you have to do, like, oh, I think I'm rich. But you're like, well, now you have to be a little bit more sophisticated. You can't do the same. Because you don't want to ruin opportunities to... You can get money and wealth are different things.
Yes.
So, like, you need to be afforded opportunities to gain wealth.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, like, people change to an extent because, you know, if they want more opportunities, they can't act a certain way.
Yeah. Which is kind of, like, fucked up in a way.
is.
You know what I'm saying?
Up.
It's
Yeah,
like...
It's like classism.
It really is.
Exactly.
Yeah, it really... No, exactly. That's what it is. Because as much as, you know, like I said, I want to have the money, you know, I want to make money off my creativity. It's like, damn, I really got to act that way. And it's like... And it's the people that, like, you know... Because a lot of my friends, they're not... There's nothing on them. They just don't do anything creatively like we do, whether it's podcasting or rapping. But it's like, damn, like, I don't... Part of me just doesn't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, you're still my friend. It's like, okay, I'm in a higher class than you. It's like, I have to look down on you. Like, really? It's like...
It's probably like the celebrity also probably affects people in the way of, like, if you're constantly... You can't even go to, like, the grocery store.
Yeah.
You know, like, you ever hear about that thing Michael Jackson did where he, like... rented out a grocery store so he could just go to the grocery store and feel regular and all the people were his family and actors. Y'all ever heard about that?
Like he just did that he just did that to be able to go shopping.
Because he was so rich, he was like, I just want to like walk down the aisles and like just pick out cereal.
And rest in peace to him. You know, he never lived a normal life. You know what I'm saying? From the minute he was what, like 6, 7, his dad was getting all hit and his brother's right in the spotlight, and that's. In a way, that's kind of what killed him. You know what I'm saying? Because that whole thing with the, forget the name of the propofol. Like, that's how he died. You know, he overdosed because he couldn't get enough sleep. Like, that's like, that being on that. It's kind of like Elvis. Like, Elvis was just so drained out that he died.
Yeah, taking the opiates.
Which actually, from the time of this recording, yesterday was actually the anniversary of his death.
Crazy.
Which
R.I.P. to Elvis.
Absolutely, because yeah,
it's my grandmother's.
And this kind of like ties into the next question I'm going to talk about, because we all love the old school shit. You know what I'm saying? It basically crafts what music is, what the music we make today, or the creative aspects we go today. And all y'all are students of the game. Mm-hmm. I heard y'all talking about Cameron, 50, all that stuff. So when you guys first were coming up, as kids, who were kind of your main inspirations to like kind of like, oh, you saw that rapper and it's like, I want to do that.
Honestly, and it might sound corny, but it's true. These people right here, like these guys right here, like when they were rapping, I was like, oh, that's hard. I love seeing my homies create. But then it just like it reached a level where I was like, wait a minute, these dudes are nasty. Like, and then just like the J. Cole's and the Kendricks and stuff, like it was all around that time, the 2011, 12 Mac Miller type era, when he's like rapping and rapping. Yeah, rest in peace to Mac. And that, I would say Mac is probably one of my biggest influences.
I like that.
Yeah. Probably like Tupac, J. Cole, probably my biggest influences. But I would probably say my brother, he used to like freestyle all the time. Okay. He had like a little stereo set up in his room. And he used to like take the headphone jack. So like if you put it in only so much, you could still hear out the speakers, but it would like take out the vocals, and it would just have the instrumental. So he used to do
crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't know
so
that.
he used to do that to be able to rap.
Shit.
Yeah. He used to do shit like that to like be able to rap over the instrumental. So he would have like he would be rapping all day in his room. So it's my brother is probably like
what's his name? Give him a shout out.
My brother Tony.
Tony.
They call him Dominic DeNucci.
I like that.
It's at a pizza shop. So yeah.
Classic Italian stuff. I like that.
Oh yeah,
Italian
for sure.
too, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I mean that was really cool, like seeing that as a kid and then like wanting to be like my brother. So then like
yeah, absolutely.
Well, I listened to a lot of punk and hardcore, like we were talking about, and there was this one hardcore band, Product of Waste, from Rhode Island, and the lead vocalist of that band, Terry, he was a rapper, and I was into rap a little bit, but not very much. And when I heard him rap, that was the first time I was, I thought to myself, like, oh, I could do this, because, like, he's a punk rocker, but he's also making rap music. Mm. And then, I listened to a lot of, like, Vinnie Paz and, Jedi Mind Tricks, and then it kind of evolved from there into,
that's some underground stuff.
Yeah, I liked a lot of underground, but then I started listening to, like, Black Dot and The Roots, and it just, I started listening to so much more rap music, and it just, everything evolved.
Everything materialized, that's right, that's what's up.
For myself, it's not really so much the rap inspiration for me. It's soul and R&B. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like,
if you couldn't tell,
get up, Steve. Like Sam Cooke, Stevie Wonder, Otis Redding, John Legend, Temptations, even.
Oh, that's awesome! I love the Temptations.
Like getting into, I guess, like touching into the rap. The similarity that I saw that I enjoyed was through like Jadakiss. Because he talked about a lot of things that I had to endure. I grew up in the system a bit, so like I was around some rougher edges for a while, and at the same hand, he kept his intelligence about him through his words. Like he talked about sustenance. Like there was something going on more than just the drugs and the money, and and like that was the connection that I saw between like the soul and the R&B, talking about like love, emotions, and like hard starts and things like that. But yeah, no, my real inspiration that kind of led me over to rap was soul and R&B. It just kind of grew. Yeah. I was 90s kid, so everything that was coming on, it just had that rhythm to it. Yeah. And
Neptunes. When Neptunes produced like 40% of everything on the radio or something crazy like that. Oh, yeah. That was like,
because my dad's very into like the Motown, pop, soul, all that stuff. All of it's fantastic, which
love it.
That's how you make timeless music. You know what I'm saying? That stuff came out in the 60s, and we're still all bumping it. In fact, Mike's got a few like Stevie Wonder stuff on the wall there. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? There you go.
Perfect.
And I'm glad you brought up the Temptations because I actually saw their Broadway play. And I got
Did you?
Damn.
It is very excellent.
That must have been a lot of fun.
Oh, it was awesome.
Yeah,
really
you were out your seat. I know that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It was like
so much fun.
Because I never like go really into the background of like a lot of bands and stuff like that. Like honestly, the person I have to say who I know the background most is Michael Jackson and Elvis, because I've seen the movies, documentaries, whatever. But seeing the Temptation, it was crazy. And there's actually a Michael Jackson play too that actually was in Boston that I saw in New York.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I highly recommend anybody listening that, like, if you ever are in the areas of that and you ever go see it, please go see it. Like, don't just go see some regular Broadway play, because actually, like, Broadway's on like the come up right now with all that stuff. Like, they're just making, like, we have all these biopics and movies, but y'all really got to see the musicals, because it's just wow.
Right.
And I'm not that, like, musical guy. Like, I go and that's it. You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't know.
There's crossovers.
Right, exactly. I don't know, like, the actors or like whoever else, but being in a creative field and watching that stuff in such, because it's not a concert. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you go there, you buy a ticket, and the Temptations are gonna perform. They're all dead.
Right. Yeah.
As fucked up as that sounds.
R.I.P. Sorry
R.I.P.
about
to all of
that.
them. I think,
Sorry about
if anything,
that.
I think one of them's still alive, but still. But yeah, it's like, it's just so crazy, because you get so much inspiration off that, and you wouldn't even think to, like, that's where you get the inspiration from, because you hear the music, you hear, you watch the documentaries, but when you're looking at it live and someone's interpreting that, it's like a whole nother level. It's crazy.
Yeah, when you see it come together.
Yeah.
When you get to see the pieces that are making that art.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
it's an emotional story. I gotta say, it really is an emotional story.
Well, the thing is, it's bringing you, just like you said, it brings you through your emotions. You go through your own memories. It brings you to places. It's simple enough, but it gets a point across where it's narrating the illustration in your mind. Close your eyes, be somewhere else.
Yeah.
And just like feel good. Maybe you feel bad. Sometimes that makes you feel good. Like it's good to have it all. But yeah.
Absolutely. Cool. Absolutely. And we, as we were talking about underground artists and stuff like that, a big thing that I've kind of been observing is, Boston has a big underground scene. They're independent. The people that are signed to the label, they are. But I've always thought about, what does it take to really break out of the underground and become, like, surface level mainstream. Yeah. So I'm curious, because you guys are still underground right now, in a way, in a sense. So what do you guys think it will take to kind of break out from the underground into really?
Honestly, like, I think that I've always been kind of the type of person to think that mainstream is not necessarily a good thing. Like, not that it's a bad thing, but as far as authenticity and integrity, artistic integrity, I feel like the more mainstream you get, especially with certain things, if you're doing things that are inherently the opposite of mainstream, countercultural,
yes,
and then those things become mainstream, it kind of destroys your authenticity by proxy.
Yeah.
Because if your whole thing is like, oh, fuck the award shows and fuck all this, blah, 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 and then you're performing at the Grammys and you're getting the awards and then you're thanking the Academy, it's like, it's really weird. It's almost like the Olympics, like, to be an Olympian is a beautiful, amazing thing. But at this point, it's like almost like there could be games that are more important to these people in these countries. You know what I mean? Like, it could be something that's a little bit more important to them personally. So as far as being like mainstream, like, I mean, you see underground artists go mainstream, like MF Doom, right. Like, the
Logic's
Jay
another good
Dillas.
example of that.
Yeah,
too,
Logic. Yeah. Like, you see like Black Thoughts and stuff like that. And when they do, there's a way of going about it that might be good. Like, good and beneficial to their, keeping their sanity in a way and also their authenticity. But then, I don't know. I feel like there's also, I guess, a double-edged sword, because some people who become super mainstream keep their authenticity so much that it actually deters from their artistry. And then they end up just making kind of weird, abstract versions of their best shit. Yeah. And it's not as good,
Well, it's like, it's the balance.
It's the balance.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Right. And, a couple things I want to agree on, because you did bring up a good couple points. Firstly, with Logic, I grew up in high school. I was listening to all the mixtapes on Dat Piff, SoundCloud, and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And then, he broke out into the mainstream. He was getting more well known. It's like, okay, this is good. I'm still a fan of his. This, that, and the other thing. Then his 2017 album comes out, Everybody, and it just was like such a turn off for me. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like, because his big thing was, oh, I'm biracial, this, that, and the other thing, and he was rapping about that so much on that album that it kind of like
dried out.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It dried out. But the one thing I want to bring out to that is the Suicide Hotline song. That got so much plays to the point where, like, you're right, it became corny. It became like, but he's rapping about something important.
Very important.
Like, you know what I'm saying? But got played so much that it became like just whatever.
It almost doesn't even feel genuine either.
Right.
Because it's too big.
Right.
Yeah, now, I mean, I don't know. I just don't think people should think about it that much.
Yeah.
I think that's the problem, is everyone's always looking at it from a, how can I criticize this? Like, shut the fuck up and listen to the music.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Who cares?
I think, you know, it gets, because, you know, we get annoyed when we hear stuff all the time. And I think when, you know, you play a song like that, and it could be just any song, because I know Lucid Dreams by Juice WRLD, rest in peace to him. You know, that was an important song to him, and he's rapping about, you know, his feelings and stuff like that. But that got so much play, it was like, you're not even listening for the message now, you're just listening because it's
cool.
It's catchy and cool,
Yeah.
right?
I honestly think, like, the best way, if you're, like, you're looking at it as an artist, I think the best way to do it is just do your best to ignore what people have to say that don't matter to you.
Right.
Like, only hold the opinions of those, like, you know, you have a team around you of people who care about you and support you. So maybe if they have an opinion, obviously you take it in and then make your decision based off that. But I don't think you should care about what people who don't contribute to you making music have to say.
No, that is a very good point.
Because if you want to maintain authenticity, then you need to be you only need to worry about what you think. And like people you just got to prove them wrong. That's really the goal,
right?
You know, in that sense, to maintain what you need to be you.
And Mikey, to, you know, your point, you were bringing up the Olympics and how certain sports matter. You know, there was actually a story that I actually had watched this event as it happened. A young woman from St. Lucia, who the whole country was up for, and she was only running track. You know, when Sha'Carri Richardson's run track, we're like, oh, that's cool, but it's like that's expected. Yeah. But like for a small island country like that, where, you know, I think she was the only Olympian, and she got the gold, and the whole country went up, and it's like, wow, it's like, you know, we're on the same planet, but there's just two different worlds right there. Like, so that's crazy.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, there's like different opportunities in different places too. So I'm sure like that girl like worked her ass off to get there.
Oh, definitely, yeah. University of Texas product too. So shout out the Hornets. You know what I'm saying? All right, but moving on to the PH tape that y'all got coming out. What's the name of it, by the way?
The PHI Tape.
The PHI Tape. Okay.
Yeah.
So what can we expect from it? You know, who's on there? Because I know you said my boy Groovy, our boy Isaac Groove's on there. So anybody else is on there? Or just y'all?
I mean, you know Jeff Porter as well.
Oh, really? That's my dog. All right.
No shit. They're on the same track.
That's what's up. Okay.
And
I need that.
And it's a smack. It's just them two. So, you know, they're on there. Nayeli's on there. She's an up and coming artist from Boston. She, I think, goes to the Berkeley. She's a super talented singer and also rapper. She's so nasty. And then there's just so many good artists. There's NJ from Morning Run. Shouts out Morning Run.
Shout out Morning Run, absolutely.
978. You know, they're from Woober. So you know, more 978 homies. Who else is on there? There's like a bunch of people. Jordan Grant, his homie Carlito with 2 O's.
Carlito laced it, right?
That's right.
That's his username, but like his name's Carlito, right?
Yeah, with 2 O's. Yeah. He's they're both from Cape Cod. So we're taking from different, you know, different places and you know, around Massachusetts that support the same kind of vibes that we kind of support. But also, I never, like, as far as like, you know, executively producing, I didn't tell anybody what the, you know, premises was or anything, because there is no point.
Yeah.
It's not a conceptual tape. You know, it's
it's almost like a compilation tape of just like different songs.
I call it a project.
Yeah.
Because it's not a mixtape and it's not an album and it's not an EP, but it's something in there that's almost like I'm looking at Kendrick's Good Kid, Mad City. He says a short film by Kendrick Lamar. So like, it's something more in that realm.
Yeah.
And I just you're gonna hear a lot of vibes on there.
Yeah.
You're gonna hear a lot of vibes. What about you guys think about the PHI Tape? I think we've just now, like, in the past couple weeks and stuff, I sent them more or less the very last, you know, before we maybe touched a couple things up, but we have a very good skeleton of what's like there.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
What do y'all think?
Yeah, what do y'all think?
I just think it's gonna be, you know, a nice collaboration of the four of us, you know, being the main contributors, and then, you know, some outside visions from people who we really fuck with and who've, you know, shown us support over the past, you know, couple of years.
So do y'all feel like you're kind of being like the Greg Popovich almost? You got, you know, you're the head coach of the championship team, and you got Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, Kawhi Leonard running the offense on this album. Or project, I should say.
Have you ever listened to like any like Static Select albums?
Yes.
You know who
I've heard
Static
one. Yeah, I've heard one. Yeah.
Static is like from around here, and he reps Massachusetts really hard. He's a fucking...
Well, isn't he from your area?
He's from like Essex or something, New Hampshire. Okay. So he's like near Lawrence kind of thing. Okay. That's where him and Term, I think, met up. But yo, if you've ever listened to like the lineage of his tapes, it's like, it starts off with just a couple homies that are like kind of big, like with his like, I think like Smith and Wesson's on there and stuff, like, you know, like Sean P's on there, but then it like gradually progresses to like bigger and bigger, you know, like just more artists that are like, oh, this dude's nasty, I gotta be on this, you know, early Action Bronson and shit like that. And then it's like, just like, you know, he meets more people, he starts doing the Pro Era, like chilling with Pro Era, Joey Badass and shit. So that's kind of where,
Steez, by the way,
rest in peace to Steez. That's yep. So yeah, just as far as like, this is one of those things that's just like, we're just planting seeds and seeing what grows, and this is what grew.
Now, have y'all kind of done an album like that before, or is this is kind of like the first? Yeah, because I mean, all your old stuff is all PH, and you know you have had your features on there, but this is kind of like your new branch out to like explore like a different, like kind of, like you said, a conceptual project. Yeah,
well, we've had individual projects like scattered about. Like I've had like 2 mixtapes I produced. Cash has a couple mixtapes. Like Johnny's been on singles, and then Kym has been on singles as well. But yeah, so we've had like different things. That's kind of why we're not like a group. We're like a collective.
Yes.
And that's kind of how we see it when we're working with other artists too. It's just more homies coming to chill and you know, shoot their shit too. Right. So.
Well, actually, on my last interview with Shaw, he talked about being a part of collective. Sorry about the train. That happens. Right. That happens in a lot of episodes. You know.
No, that's all right.
We ride on the commuter rail.
Yeah,
so.
Hell yeah.
But as I was saying with Shaw, you know, I talked about, because he's part of his group. I'm so pissed I forget the name of it. It's like something plug and play, or like I feel like an asshole for forgetting, because I literally interviewed him like 2 days ago. A lot of stuff can happen in 48 hours.
Oh, I feel you.
But what I was kind of getting at with him is kind of the strength of Massachusetts is, you know, we do have a lot of like singles, like artists who are just themselves, but you know, when they link up in a group, like for example, you know, Feed the Family, Van Buren, like they do basically the same thing. You know, it is a collective, but they still drop all their individual tapes, and 99% of the time it's fire.
Hell yeah.
So I think it's important, especially for Massachusetts, that's how we grow. You know what I'm saying? Because you all have, you know, this collective of PH Imbalance, they have theirs, and then you can individually meet other people that introduces them to all 4 of y'all. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what I personally believe is what's going to push Massachusetts more, is the unification of like these collectives and working with other people.
Oh yeah,
you know
dude.
What I'm saying?
Yeah, you got to you got to bring people up, and what's that old saying, like one hand washes the other. Mm-hmm. So it's like it's around that concept where it's just like each one teach one. Everybody can grow, and I know what you're kind of getting at as far as like Massachusetts has that stigma of like being a little cliquey.
Yes.
You know, I'm like, oh, these people link up, but they don't really want you to be in this because they already have their thing growing and they want it to be their way. And it's understandable, but it's like, we're the total opposite of that. Yeah. Like our thing growing involves everybody who wants to be involved. Mm-hmm. And like, as far as like,
that's a very good point.
Yeah. And you just got to be dope though. That's the one cutoff.
That is true.
And,
you know, I've seen that take with a lot of white rappers is like, you know, what, you know, rap historically is a, you know, black creative aspect. And, you know, obviously DJ Kool Herc, he invented in the Bronx in 1977, or I believe 75. It was one of those.
72.
It was that long?
What was it? No, it was the 50th year, 73. Yeah, last year was 50 years of hip hop, so it must have been 73.
It must have been 73. No, you're right. No, absolutely, you're right. So, you know, and that's the take I've heard with like just people speaking of white rappers. It's like, you know, unless you grew up in that realm of like struggle or like what you rap about, because you can't lie. You know, you have to like,
you cannot.
You have to rap about what you experience.
if you're a weirdo, but
right. But people are gonna see
that's
right
not
through
it.
That. Yeah, people are gonna
see
right through that. Which is luckily that, you know, we got a group like y'all where y'all actually rap about your whole life experience. But the point I'm trying to make is like, I almost don't feel like, kind of like, if you're good and you're white and you rap, I feel like you're all right. You know, you're fine. You know, it doesn't matter where you come from at that point, even if you grew up rich.
But you're saying there's like a stigma.
I think there's a little bit of a stigma that, like, you know, in a way we have to kick, because that's like, are people just not going to work with you because of that stigma? You know what I'm saying?
You never know. I mean, everybody got their own motives and stuff, and everybody got their own kind of way of going about things. But like, there's plenty of people who are super active who want to see their community grow, and that community doesn't have to be one way.
Right.
So,
well,
those are the people we think are dope.
Yeah, I've said this all the time. You know, the world ain't just Massachusetts.
No, it's not. No,
it is good. Y'all feel a responsibility to grow this scene here and to be a part of it, but at the end of the day, you know, there's 8 billion people in the world.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's statistically impossible for no one to be a fan of you and to no one to like your stuff.
That's true.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like,
unless you were really bad.
Unless you like suck.
Yeah. Like Joaquin Phoenix bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
what?
He tried to like do a rap thing.
Did he really?
His rap thing. Oh, yeah. I thought you were talking about his acting. I'm like...
No, I was like, hell no.
He's like goated.
Hey, listen, he won an Oscar for playing the Joker.
We love you, Joaquin, as an actor.
Yeah, shouts to Joaquin.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he did have that rap thing.
He had like a rap thing.
But it was like some sort of it was like a kind of an act.
Okay.
Like, but I don't know.
Even still, it's like, just stick to acting.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to play an actor in a movie, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But if you're just doing it to, like, you know, like you said, he's acting, it's like, don't do that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Don't do that.
Yeah,
like,
he caught some flack for that.
Yeah, absolutely. I
Joe
didn't know
Pesci, his rap.
Oh,
Joe Pesci's rapping?
Yeah, Joe Pesci got a rap.
But no shit. Joe Pesci used to sing his ass off.
He did.
Yeah, I could tell.
He's
because he's that classic Sinatra Italian type thing.
That's what he sings. He'll sing like Dion and the Belmonts type music, and it's really good. Wow. I swear to God, look that shit up. Because before he was an actor, he was a singer.
Really?
And then he was like,
because I only know him as an actor.
De Niro found him.
Yeah.
He was like performing.
Really?
Yeah.
He got put
in a play or something.
Raging Bull, I think, was his first movie ever.
Yeah.
And I think he won the Oscar
Yes, he
for
did.
Best Supporting Actor.
Yeah.
Like,
wow, that's crazy.
Think about that. Yeah.
Yeah, y'all giving me knowledge. I gotta look this shit up after this interview. You kidding me?
Food for
Because, you know, I'm Italian, so anytime you tell me that shit about any of those Scorsese, De Niro movies, it's like I gotta do my extra research on that. You know what I'm saying? But that's cool. But yeah, so, you know, you got this project coming out. I want to actually know, like, because you're obviously proud of it. Obviously, it's a different take on what you guys have done in the past. Is there a project that you actually are most proud of, in a way, that you're like, wow, we actually did this?
That we have done?
That you have done, or maybe individually. I'll say either together or individually, because, you know, no flack. If it is an individual project, be proud of it. You know, pump its chest. You know, talk that shit.
Oh yeah.
So I am just curious. You know, is there like a project that you have that, like, you know, maybe it's your piece de resistance, or maybe that piece de resistance hasn't come yet. So I am just curious about that, though.
I would say I'm very, very proud of this album. This album this project took us a good amount of time to really just make it what we wanted it to be, and also not just to make what we knew we could make. We tried to push the boundary. We tried to make things that were a little out of our comfort zone, but still what we love.
Absolutely. That's what's up. So, you know, PH Imbalance in the building. I appreciate y'all being here. You know what I'm saying? If there's anybody you want to give a shout out to right now, please do. You know what I'm saying? This is your time to do it. Yeah.
Well, shout out to Roxbury Paid. They're always holding it down. Shemaine over there. I always get super flag gear from her. She's independent, black owned, Roxbury clothing supplier. She's super dope. And I mean, shouts out to everybody who supports us, and shouts out to you guys for, just letting us come up and talk our shit.
Because this has been a long time coming. Yeah, I've been trying to get y'all in there. Yeah. Oh, and before you get to the shout out, I do want to know, because you said you have been planning this upcoming project for a while. How long actually did it take from like start to finish?
Had to be at least 3 years, 4 years. Right?
Wow.
More than that. I mean, to be honest, like, there's a song that we have on there that will probably drop soon. That is the second song I ever produced, ever. Yeah, it's called Hey.
Oh, so this is going back like years.
Since 2018, 19. Wow. But you learn so much over those years that, there's been a million iterations of this, and now it's just like it all just meshed. Mm-hmm. And you'll hear it really soon, because it's gonna drop.
No, I'm excited. I'm excited. I think this is gonna be a good thing for Massachusetts rap. As you said, the conceptual aspect of the project, because we haven't really seen that before. There's been plenty of producers who have gotten their artists on these different songs. For example, that just dropped here, Champion Sound with Devo. That was one album I can actually go to and think about that stuff.
Fire.
But yeah.
Shouts out to Devo.
Absolutely.
Not 7-8.
Exactly. There you
all
go.
Day long.
But with this new project that you guys have coming out, I do feel in a way, in terms of especially underground music and really more local, I feel like it is going to turn a lot of heads.
Yep.
You know, I think people are actually going to take inspiration from this, and maybe one day, you know, they kind of copy you in a sense, but at least it's good to know that, you know, y'all were the ones that kind of did it first.
Yeah, hell yeah. I mean, first
yeah.
First last it doesn't even matter. That was us. No, I mean, yeah, we're proud of this. Yeah, definitely proud of this thing. And actually, I guess just to give you guys a scoop, just signed. We have a show.
Oh, I meant
September 21st.
You're right. I meant to ask you about that.
Twelvyy.
Yes, exactly. I knew because I was
Can you guess who the surprise DJ is going to be?
I can't.
Devo the Genius.
There you go. All right. That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up. How did that opportunity come about for y'all? Because that's literally, I was like, wait, I know I meant to ask y'all about something.
That's going to be a big one. It's over at the Taffeta in Lowell, and the way it came about was basically, you know, I'm a promoter as well, so I'll put shows.
Which I give you a lot of credit for, because you really put your, you know, the flyers or even shows that you know you're a part of. You really put it out there like that.
Yeah, it's all DIY. I don't even hire no one to do a bunch of. I just do most of that shit. But we threw a show at the Taffeta like a year and some change or whatever. It was with the Uno Hype. It's like this big ass show, and it was just a sick like crowd response. Like there was like over 100 people there, and everybody was really, really involved. So much so that the promoters were like, dude, we'll have you back anytime. You guys really put on for this shit. And, you know, obviously it's in Lowell, so we shut the 978 all day. So, yeah, they just hit us up saying, hey, we just rescheduled this Twelvyy show, and we want you to be a part of it. And we were super stoked to hear that.
No, because that's a big opportunity for y'all. Y'all got to shine on that big stage.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. So, salute to y'all. September 12th?
21st.
21st.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm bad with numbers.
Let's Dexy.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I flip the numbers around a bit like that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and I'm going to speak into camera. If you are available that day, you know, please go see these gentlemen perform for A AP Twelvyy. Twelvyy's a great artist. Actually, I'm actually surprised he's actually coming to Boston. I haven't heard from him in a while.
Yeah.
Honestly, a lot of that with ASAP Mob. You know, you kind of you really only hear Rocky, and it kind of does suck that Ferg fell off, because I really do love Ferg. But as I'm saying, September 21st at the Taffeta. It's a legendary venue. Please go see these gentlemen perform and open up for A AP Twelvyy. It's going to be a great show. I can already tell like that. But anyways, back to the shout-outs. You know what I'm saying? Because I always give time at the end of the episodes to show some love. So, Gio, who do you want to shout out right now?
Nobody.
All right, I like that. I like that.
No, it's me.
It's me. Yeah.
No. My mom. Love you, mama.
Love that.
Yeah, that's all I got. I was going to say, I love you, mama.
Okay, that's sweet. That's sweet. You know what I'm
I
saying?
got some shout outs.
Okay,
Yeah,
go
go
ahead.
for it.
Shout out to Hawsey,
Yep.
Oh, fire.
Big Z,
Yep.
Nate Chains,
Yep.
you know, all the homies in the 978, Pinehurst.
Pinehurst.
That's it.
That's
What's
it.
up? Yeah. Love you to shout out your moms, because
Yeah,
not a lot of
absolutely.
people do that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to mom.
Yo, you know what MC Kym is?
I do.
It's an acronym.
Yeah, it started as a joke, but it makes too much sense. You know, it's Mike Cruz, Kiss Your Mother.
I like that.
It goes both ways. It could be sultry or it could be innocent. You know,
I like that.
It could be my mother, it could be your mother.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. That's dead creative.
Love them all.
Yeah, we out here
That
loving
old
mothers.
school
Everybody
R&B.
need love.
You know what I'm saying? We need to drop a Mother's Day tape.
Yeah,
yourself, you know what I'm saying?
I love you, mom.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
But ladies and gentlemen, that was PH Imbalance, the first collective I've had up here that have come up together. It was a great episode, you know what I'm saying? It was one of those episodes that's a really long time coming. Gentlemen, I appreciate y'all taking the time out your Saturday. I know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? We try to get this together. As I've said, you know, y'all work the day jobs, so we got to make this day right, and I appreciate that. My message to y'all, just please keep grinding, you know what I'm saying? Please keep being yourselves. I can feel the authenticity in this room. I can feel the friendship and connection here. So I really appreciate, again, y'all coming up here on a Saturday, of course. Cause,
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Any time to get done, you got to get it done. Where can they all find you guys on Instagram or any socials, by the way? Please shout that out right now. So
Yep.
make
You
sure.
can find us on Instagram at p.h.imbalance. And then, so that's the collective. All of our handles are on there. Mine is at PH_DZZZ. Triple Z's don't sleep.
Yeah. He runs my Instagram. So I don't even touch it. So.
You can follow me at Cash the Prophet on Instagram. I'm not on Twitter like that.
Yeah.
What is social media?
Yeah.
I just came out from my rock. You know,
good. Hey, listen, it's a toxic place, so don't worry about it.
Yeah.
If you only use it to promote your music, just do that. Because it's not
he handles that as
well.
Yeah,
all the handles are on the 5 page. So
look at that. I like that. You know what I'm saying? Mikey's stepping up in the world, you know.
Yep.
Damn, you need a job as a social media manager or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Get me paid, bro.
Yeah. And I got to give a shout out to your 3 Z's because my old co-host, Mike Sanchez, he has 3 Z's on his thing so you could stop sleeping on him.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But ladies and gentlemen, if you like this video, please hit us with a like and a comment about what you liked about this video. Or, you know, you want to shout out PH in the comments, of course. They're all great dudes. They deserve their flowers. And as always, please make sure you hit that subscribe button to help grow the channel. It really helps a lot. You know what I'm saying? I'm meeting my number goals for the year. And obviously, as we get into the final stretch of 2024 and into 2025, I can tell that these guys, as well as myself and everyone else in Massachusetts, is going to continue to have a great next year. But as always, follow me on Instagram, REPETE617. That's my personal. And please follow the Say That page. It's say_that_pod. A lot of underscores in there, I understand, you know. Been trying to change it off. For some reason, somebody took the Say That pod just straight up. And I kind of have my suspicions. I think someone was like, oh, you want to change it? No, I'm going to take it. Because literally, it's just a blank page. I'm
we know you're watching.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I know what you're doing. I see you. I know what you're doing. I don't like that. But as always, y'all know the drill. Gentlemen, if you can help me out right now by saying it, don't say this, say that. And we will see y'all in the next video. Peace.